Welcome in, Broncos country, to the Denver Broncos' quest to plug their roster holes ahead of the trade deadline. The deadline is on November 4th, and the Denver Broncos are trying to win a Super Bowl this season. We saw the Denver Broncos play in a game today. They won. They improved to 7-2 on the season. However, it was a very frustrating win, and the offense, outside of some plays by Bo Nix's legs and by J.K. Dobbins there in that fourth quarter, they didn't do a whole lot. And going back and looking at that game again, I saw a lot of bad play from receivers. From drops to just not getting open, it was inconsistent. I've talked about multiple times how the Broncos are the third worst team in the NFL in terms of points left on the field thanks to drops. So Denver's going to have to get better in that area. That is why we have heard some trade rumors from national media, including Adam Schefter, that the Denver Broncos might be looking to add a player at the wide receiver position. I believe it's a certain type of receiver that they're looking for, a Z wide receiver. They've got two young wide receivers in Marvin Mims and Troy Franklin. Both of those guys are more slot receivers than they are outside Z receivers. One guy who could be available and has some ties to this offense is Rashid Shaheed of the New Orleans Saints. And I want to go ahead and bring in this tweet here from Polymarket Football. I don't know how reliable of a source this is, but according to them, the Steelers, Bills, and Broncos are all trying to work out trade deals for Rashid Shaheed. Shaheed is that guy who can take the top off of the defense. I believe he's got a little bit more speed to his game than Marvin Mims and Troy Franklin in terms of game speed. I know people have flashed up Shaheed's 40 time, but 40 times don't necessarily translate to game speed, and when you watch it on film, you see that extra gear with Rashid Shaheed. I don't know if it's necessarily raw speed or if it's just better acceleration. I think it might be the latter. But Rashid Shaheed has been really good this season for the New Orleans Saints. One of the few bright spots on this offense. 66 targets, 44 catches, 499 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Rashid Shaheed, he signed a one-year prove-it deal with the New Orleans Saints this season. He came off of a season-ending injury that he suffered last year, and I would say that he has certainly proven it. But he is in a contract year. 27 years old, so still young enough where whatever team that acquires him in a hypothetical trade, they would have multiple years of control over Rashid Shaheed. Now let's take a look at his contract. So right now he's got a $4.458 million cap hit. Denver wouldn't be on the books for all of that. They would only be on the books for some of it. If they're trading for Rashid Shaheed, it's with full plans to extend this player. I've heard through the grapevine that the New Orleans Saints are looking for at least a third-round pick in exchange for Rashid Shaheed. Is that too much for the Denver Broncos? Possibly, especially considering you still have Marvin Mims and Troy Franklin. But Pat Bryant isn't really going to be a Z receiver for you. And in an ideal world, neither is Marvin Mims or Troy Franklin, so quite frankly, this is a move that I would be highly interested in making. I know a lot of people in Broncos country are talking about Jalen Waddle, but a report has come out indicating that the Miami Dolphins would want a first-round pick and more for Jalen Waddle. So for me, that's a little bit too expensive. But Rashid Shaheed, he already knows this offense. He knows the terminology. Even though he didn't cross paths with Sean Payton in New Orleans, they still ran the Sean Payton offense with Pete Carmichael as the OC for multiple years, and Pete Carmichael is now an offensive assistant here in Denver. There are several other coaches as well that coached Rashid Shaheed in New Orleans that are now here in Denver, so quite frankly, this move makes a ton of sense for me, especially again after re-watching that game against Houston. The wide receiver play was not good enough. And that is something that I worry is going to hold this team back. Now, did Bo Nix have several missed throws today? Absolutely he did. This was one of the worst games for Bo Nix in a Broncos uniform, but he still found a way to get the job done in the end, so I know a lot of people aren't going to criticize Bo too much. I think that he does need to be better. I still believe. I think he's our franchise quarterback. But if you get him another weapon, this passing game might settle down a little bit. Bo Nix might be a little bit more comfortable if he has a guy that can consistently get open. Rashid Shaheed is not just a straight line speed merchant. He's a really good route runner. He's got some savvy to his game. He's got the ability to get open. He's got the ability to get open on scramble drill. And that's been something that's been a little bit frustrating at times for this Broncos offense, is that receivers aren't getting open on scramble drill when Bo Nix is trying to extend the play. Either they're not getting open, or Bo's not quite on the same page with him, or yes, Bo Nix will occasionally miss him as well. I know there are going to be a lot of people that say that it's not worth it to acquire Rashid Shaheed, but I believe that this team is very close. Kansas City lost today. You've got one of the franchise quarterbacks in the AFC, Joe Burrow, most likely done for the season. You've got several other injuries in the AFC and a lot of other parity there where it makes it to where Denver's got a legitimate shot. They're currently the number 2 seed in the AFC, and they're a leverage penalty against the Colts away from being the number 1 seed. This is a good football team. This is a team that has a chance to compete for a Super Bowl, but I think there are a couple of more moves that could be made in order to get them there. Tight end is another position to monitor. If there is going to be a move for the Denver Broncos, I believe it's going to be made tomorrow, considering that Denver is on a short week. They probably won't make the move on Tuesday, which is the day of the deadline. So keep an eye on this. Within the next 24 hours, Broncos country, Denver may have made a move. We'll find out in very short time. Alright guys, be sure to leave a like on this video as well as subscribe and ring the bell so these videos appear in your notification feed. I would really appreciate it, guys. Those are both free and easy ways to show your support. It helps tell YouTube's algorithm to push us out, and it helps us get seen by more and more members of Broncos country just like you and me. Additionally, if you guys want to go above and beyond in supporting the channel, please consider becoming a channel member today. I would really appreciate it. It's not mandatory whatsoever. But if you guys want some extra perks and incentives in exchange for helping me out, helping this channel grow, and helping improve the production quality of this content, I would really appreciate it. Again, the link is in the description below. Alright guys, and until next time, I'm your host, Gage Madrid, saying peace out.